Shalom Israel, this is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy the 20th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom. So, what's the name of today's class?
I love the Hebrew Strangler.
I loved the Hebrew Strangler. In love with the Hebrew Strangler. Now, for integrity purposes, that title comes from a brother from the old UPK named Maharaka. He did the thing was so damn funny. And it's funny, but it's not funny. I'm going to say it again. It's funny, but it's not funny. You sisters, y'all going to understand what I mean as we go through this class. Some of you brothers, you're going to enjoy, you're going to learn from today's class. Some of y'all going to be mad. I'm going to say it again. You heard what I said, Lava? Yes, some of you men going to like today's class. Some of y'all going to be mad as hell because you're going to feel guilty. You're going to go, shoot, he's talking about me. Some of the sisters, the same thing. They're going to be like, I'm in that situation. Damn, and they laughing. Hey, shame on you. So, Lava, what are you going to say?
Nah, I just want them to ask us, do we care?
Yeah, ask us.
Nah, I don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care.
So those online, and the reason the class was prompted, well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you why. What was the motivation behind the class in a minute. But speaking of the old from the UPK, I learned a lot. I've been in this truth 30 years. I learned a lot from my past. Always remember your past. Never forget it. Let me tell you, coming up in this truth as a young man, I can remember many brothers were having problems with their wives. Listen good what I'm about to say. I'm talking about the UPK. Many brothers was having problems with their wives. So we were all young men. We going like this. Hey, I got a question. Hey, what's your question, young man? How do you deal with a woman who will not listen to you or listen to the scriptures? True story. I wish Dickie Yawasau was here. He sat in class with me. It was, now, we was across the hall. The men's class was across the hall. You had a women's class, I think it was Wednesdays. I think the men's class was Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we sitting there. Ooh. How do you deal with a rebellious woman? So the brother teaching, who was a general, I ain't going to tell you the general's name. He says, brothers, see, what you need to do, you need to learn how to humble your wife. What you do is this. You punch her in the stomach real hard. Then you make love to her real slow. He says that's how you break a woman's spirit. Now, the brothers was going, wow, Kwam Yashala, Kwam. I was like, you going to jail, niggas? Y'all going to jail? You do that thing? Well, I couldn't say that out loud, but I had some sense.
When you say that sound like a pimp.
Bruh. We just gonna put that on the table. Y'all know the lifestyle. When a man says that, you know his lifestyle he came from.
Yeah, man.
You older ones know. I don't know about you young guys. Y'all like, I'm confused. So this is what we was taught. Now, the leader, Marshawn, never taught that. Because I went to him about it. He said, don't you ever do that. He got on the brother that taught the class. We were like, hey, he taught all of us that. This dude. He was like, I'm going to deal with it. So that was one lesson. Another lesson. We at camp, one of the, I'm going to just say senior men. I ain't going to say who. Give us a name. I ain't giving you no names. Oh, did I say shalom to our enemies online? Shalom, enemies. Shalom. Shalom. Haters of God. Shalom. Shalom. Anyway, we're at camp, and one of the senior men, he's up, and his wife pulled up in a car. Now, we at camp. I'm holding post. We at camp. His wife pulls up in a car. She gets out. And I see the senior man get up out of his seat and walk towards his wife. I'm not thinking nothing because generally she always comes up. He gave her a haymaker to the face. Pow! Knocked her out. She was on the floor, twitching like that. I wish y'all was here. He knew. We were sitting like, what the f with this? Is that what goes on in here? So what had happened was, the wife was driving a certain guy around home, back, picking him up. So this particular brother didn't appreciate that. So that's how he dealt with it. What else? I'm leading up to today's class. I'm just letting y'all know where I come from. Another thing, brother, there's a particular brother, wife, very pretty wife, pretty wife. Everybody says, oh, you got a pretty wife, One day, and the brother was a martial artist. One day, we see his wife, and she's walking funny like this. So Marsha says, he said, I want you men to see such and such wife right there. I said, that's her? He said, that's her right there. I said, what happened to her? He said, well, you know he's a karate man, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, he got so mad at her, he broke her hip. Now, the pretty woman has a permanent disability. Wow. UPK. Yeah, UPK, I tell you, I got stories for days. Now, you bring it up to today. You got certain men among us sit here. You leave your wife on the highway. Don't you brothers leave your wife on the highway. I don't know where you get that from. Did we ever teach to leave your wife on the Jackie Robinson?
Hell no.
I don't know where some of you men get that from. Niggalations or speculations or moblations. I don't know. Otta, leave my wife on the highway. Otta, what's wrong with you? So, today we're going to discuss the very importance of what I call PAP, P-A-P, prayer and proving. We're going to talk about that. It's in conjunction with, you married, the Hebrew Strangler. Some of these brothers online are Hebrew Stranglers. Some of y'all sitting in here might be Hebrew Stranglers. Kwam Yasha'Allah. I'm just going to tell you straight. So, today's lesson, we're going to go through scriptures. We're going to, and many things they have books on it. You can look it up for yourself. There's many information on it. So I don't want to, I'm saying all that for integrity purposes. Prayer and proving, we will discuss domestic violence among our people. Domestic violence is a shadow of shame amongst blacks and Latinos. It is a shadow of shame, and we often don't like to talk about that subject. But I'm going to tell you what prompted me to put today's lesson together. I get a call. Ring, ring. I'm asleep. Ring, ring. That is my ringtone, but I'm just doing that. Ring. Hello. I'm going, hello. He said, hey, Bishop, that's you? You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bro. What's happening, bro? He said, well, something happened over here in our particular city. I said, what's happening in your particular city? He says, a sister called him and said her husband punched her in the face. I said, sister called you, and her husband punched him in the face. He said, yeah, that's what happened. I said, okay. I said, you have two questions. Question number one, did she call the police? That's question one. Question two, who pays the bills in the house? Now, that may seem strange to everybody. Why you ask those two questions? I asked those two questions for a reason. Number one, did she call the police? This is what happens. I don't tell y'all everything I've been through, but I tell y'all a few things. I'm trying to see how I'm going to word it. You know you got to say things so you don't incriminate yourself, and then you get a knock on the door from the popo. Anyway, sister says her husband beat her up. Now, this is way back. Brothers go to beat the brother up for beating up the wife. It turns out, the police say, who beat your husband up? She says, I don't know. I couldn't see. It was dark. But he was beating me. He deserved it. He ain't right. So Police go, all right. A week goes by. The same sister says, can y'all help me pay my bills? Because my husband was the one that paid all the bills in the house. So the brothers go, no. You have go to your family. Go. There's a shelter. She says, really? Fine. Do. Hello, detective. Remember that memory lapse I had? My memory just came back to me. I know the niggas that beat my husband down. I tell you their name. I know where the niggas live too. So, I'm telling all you brothers online, I know you want to help sisters. I know you. We love the sisters. We want to help the sisters, but some of them ain't right. Let me tell you something. That's why I asked two questions. Did you call 911? If she didn't call 911, she ain't serious. I'm telling you straight, she ain't serious. She want you to get involved. That way she got something over your head. Remember, they got movies about that. Remember when you did such and such? Remember, I got photos, I got the audio, the video. You better do what I say, or else my memory lapses come back. Now you all nervous. Oh, shoot. So you got to find out who pays the bills in the house. Because if he pays the bills, you got to find, hey, sis, now if you get this man locked up, you can do that if you want. Remember, you don't work, you ain't got no skills, you have nothing going for you. What you gonna do? Your mama live cross country. You going over there to live with her? These are things they gotta consider. These are things we tell you brothers to consider before you get involved in a situation. Here's another one for you. I'm telling you true stories. Sister, I ain't gonna tell you the state because some of y'all might figure it out. Sister said, hey, brother, can you discipline my kids for me? My son is 12 years old. He's rebellious as hell. So the brother, who likes the sister, says, I'm going to discipline your kids. So one day he doesn't go to school. He's in trouble. He comes to the school. Brother whoops the hell out of the 12-year-old. 12-year-old says, I'm going to tell my grandmama. 12-year-old goes to grandmama. Grandmama said, he did what? He did what to you? He beat you. Don't worry, baby. I got this. 911. Bring. Yeah, they're abusing people at such and such and such over at that school down there. So now the brother gets hemmed up, called before the cops call him in. So brothers, just listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to step back. Let these sisters handle their business. Give them advice, give them counsel, leave it like that. Let them handle their business. I'm telling you, because as nice as they are, some of them will flip on you when you're trying to do good for them, trying to help them out of a situation. You're going to find yourself behind bars. All I could do is help y'all. Y'all ain't got to listen to me, no. You know I'm that crazy old dude that sit up here on the podium. I'm half asleep all the time. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I'm an advocate for a divine can opening of, psst, what's that can opening? That's called a can of whoop ass. That's what that can is. You're about to get it. I am a proponent for that, but I understand how things go with certain women. Not all of them, but certain of them. So, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 27. Let me tell you about women when they're in love. You brothers see this? Let me tell you about love. Love is the first thing women don't understand. Wait, let me ask a question first. How many of you ever been in love at first sight? Raise your hand. Love at first sight. Anybody have love at first sight? Okay, pan the camera around. Why are you on me? Love at first sight. Okay, let me tell you about love at first sight. Love at first sight is the first sign of mental instability. I'm telling you, y'all crazy. All them hands that was
true.
up, crazy.
It is true.
Soon as you say, oh, I'm in love, you don't know nothing about her. She don't know nothing about you. She look good. Oh, gosh. Now, love is a great, and when I talk about love, we know about the biblical love. I just want to deal with the sexual type of love. Love is good. Love is holy. Love is divine. But brothers, when you try to talk to a woman and, let me get my words right here. Let me get it right. No matter what the man, if she married the Hebrew strangler and he gives her good, yeah, Mike. There's very little you can say. She got two black eyes. And the man says, I told you twice already. I'm telling you again. When this gets involved, the mic, be careful. Because I'm telling y'all, there's power in this thing, this mic. I'm just leaving it like that. I ain't going to say no more on that. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 27. Because you know what? As it turns out, when you ask the sister call the police, the answer is no. Now, has he beat you behind more than once? Yes. And you still haven't called the police? No. Okay. You enjoy your day. Click. That's how the conversation goes. Give me that. Read that for me.
27 and what, sir?
3.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27 and verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown.
Now, that's for the righteous sister who's trying to do right, and she married the Hebrew strangler. Let me tell you, this type of sister who's willing to get rid of this nigger, this dude who ain't right, because he ain't changing, not only does she have a place to go, she has skills, she got money on the side. She said, listen, I'm out, I'm gone. Now, watch this. Some women's going to hear today's lesson and interpret everything as, I'm justified in leaving my man. That's not what today's lesson is about. We're talking about butt whippings, I'm sorry. We're talking about getting your butt physically whooped for no good cause. Let me add that in there. Some women love a turnaround. Let me tell you about some women. A lot of Ephraim do this thing. You got to tell you, you be the husband, I'm going to be the wife. Yell at me about something. Go ahead, yell at me.
Where's the food?
What?
Where's the food?
What?
Where's the
what
food?
you talking about? Where's the damn food? Some women do this thing. You ever see a woman when they be putting their finger in your face like that?
Well, yeah.
And then the man know if I hit this woman, I could go. I can't take it no more. Now she's all twitching on the ground like that. He beat me. But she don't tell the cops. She was in his face with her finger in his face, poking him, hitting him all upside the head. She don't say that part. So that's why when you hear things, when I hear about domestic violence at home, I ask, what is the sister's temperament? What is she like? Because it may be the brother. Find me the scripture about a woman full of words.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged.
You know the age, the older man, he's 60, 70. It's hard to walk up a sandy way. Go ahead.
So is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
So is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Now, do you think that this wife that's full of words is reading scriptures to him? Is she saying, let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise? Is she saying that? No. This woman is nagging, complaining. Yep. You ain't ish. You ain't. Read it again.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
He can't stand it. He can't take it. He's quiet. Him and the Lord, here she comes. This is a negative connotation for the woman. So some of you brothers, like where Canada at? Canada said, you see the woman, you just fall in love with her because she's beautiful. She might be full of words. Sometimes, some people can hold it together till they get you. Yep, some of you young men don't know what I'm talking about. Women can hold it together. Sisters too. Some of them can hold it. They can hold the demon at bay. Then when they sure they got you, just sign your name with a dotted line. As soon as you sign, I do. Wow! Satan goes, I'm free! I'm free! That's what the Hebrew strangler does. The woman says, I married the Hebrew strangler. She said he was handsome, debonair, he could dress good, he had all the qualities of life. He had a nice car, everything had it going on. Soon as she said, I do. Satan within him said, I was free! Then the hand went to the throat, he's choking her out in the bathtub. She's like, what the hell? Give me Proverbs 11:29.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 29.
Now, I try not to be too serious. I don't want people up in here crying. So I try to keep it a little light, but I want y'all to take it serious what I'm talking about. Read that.
He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind.
Right. You know what that means, brothers? That means you come back, the kids is gone, the TV gone, the sofa gone, the dog is gone, the fish is gone. Everything you thought you had is gone. Why? Because you was living the life of a Hebrew strangler. Now you come back home from work and you hear the wind. So all is there. Like in that movie I like so much, I just like the movie so much, Sleeping with the Enemy. He would beat her behind all the time. Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
She learned to swim. She took a whole summer, learned to swim. Because he had a boat. The dude was rich. They got on that boat. Baby, let's go yachting or whatever they call that thing. And then it was a storm, and she threw herself over. She made it like the thing hit her, but it didn't hit her. She threw herself over. And she swam ashore. He's crying, where's my wife? Where's my wife? They had a funeral for her and everything. She changed her name. She changed everything, even her hair color. She wore wigs from that point on. She said, I had to get away from that dude. I had to get away. What are you going to say, Lava? Give me Proverbs 14 and 1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
That's what a wise woman does. She builds her house. Go ahead.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
But the foolish, some of you women, that's you. Some of you pluck your house down with your hands. You don't wash, you don't clean. All you do is complain. So you're going to hear today's lesson for the complainers. I know some of the millennials. I'm talking about the millennials. The sisters who are millennial sisters will hear today's class and interpret everything as, hey, I'm justified in leaving my man. But meanwhile, she's the demon and the dragon in the house. She don't wash. She don't clean. She don't take care of her responsibilities while a man's at work. So, give me Tobit chapter 10. So, sisters, if your man is beating you behind at home and you decide not to call 911, I advise you, brothers, don't get involved. Brothers, if the husband is paying all the bills in the house and she has no place to go, I advise you not to get involved. So you got a relation, you got a marriage, you got the man paying the bills, and he's giving her the microphone. Don't get involved. Just step back and say, sister, you do what you got to do. Read that for me.
10 and what, sir?
10 and 12.
The book of Tobit, chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law.
Let me tell you another one. I'm giving y'all true stories. Sister's married to the dude. He was a whoremonger. Big-time whoremonger. True story, IUIC story. He catches HIV, AIDS. She gonna call, ring, ring. She calls Asaph. Ring, ring. Asaph, hello. Is this Deacon Asaph? Yeah, this is Deacon Asaph. What's going on? Well, I just got a question for you. You know, I told you my husband is HIV positive. He goes, yeah. He wants to have sex with me tonight. Is it okay? Asaph says, here's my answer. Click. That's the right answer. Just hang up on him. Some people are just dumb. I can't take it.
Yeah, remember, Bishop, she been with us for a while.
I know.
With that type of dumb spirit. You understand? We give her many counsel. Leave that dude alone. That dude was just like demon. But she wants somebody to just, at one time I give her I said, sis, why don't you just, roommate with another sister? She said, no, me? But she willing to kill herself. There was a guy who got HIV.
And it's not so much that, because there have been couples in here who have HIV and they got married, everything's fine. We're talking about the whoremonger brother who can't stop. Not only is he infected, he's making sure he infects all these other women out here. You know, the silly, gullible women. He's so cute. He's so handsome. They got big hands. Oh, look at his feet, girl. Look. Okay. Shazam. You got it now. Have a good life. So, read that for us. Let's read this.
The book of Tobit, chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law.
Honor your father and mother-in-law. It's good to have a relationship with your father-in-law and mother-in-law, especially if they're in the truth. If they're not, Be peaceable towards them. Let me let y'all know, because there may come a time when you will need them. I'm going to say it again. Many times some of you like to cut people off real quick. They may not believe, but you know your family loves you. So don't be so quick to cut them off, because you might need them. Okay? Some family members will do anything for you. They may not believe the truth, but you know they love you, and whatever you call or need, they're going to help you out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't be quick to cut them off. Don't be quick to cut them off. Go ahead, read that again.
And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, the Lord of heaven restore thee, my dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children of my daughter Sarah before I die.
You know, parents want that thing for their kids, to have children. We want to see children from our children before we die. We want that thing, and it's an honorable thing, and that's why it's recorded in the Bible. So if you brothers meet a sister, she's telling you she don't want no children, she's not ready to be married, leave her be. Leave her alone. And I'm not talking about the woman who can't have kids. I'm talking about the one who can have them but don't want them. She's not ready to be married yet. Let her do whatever she's doing. Okay, read on.
That I may rejoice before the Lord. Behold, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust. Wherefore do not entreat her evil.
You see that part? Wherefore do not entreat her evil. Very important. And it's biblical. You men get married, do not treat the woman evil. Some of you brothers, I'm going to tell you again, you have good jobs. Some of you got good jobs. But what you do is, because you are a stingy, or I don't know the right word. It's going to come to me in a minute. But you'll rent a place, a house or something, and it'll be run down, dilapidated. And then you won't have kids in that environment. You see, and it's not that you're poor. I'm not talking about the poor brother. I'm talking about the brother who's financially able to do better but refuses to. What's the word? Is that the word frugal or cheap? I like cheap. Cheap. You got a wife and bringing a baby in, and you got pipes exposed. You got mice and rats running around. You know you could do better, but you choose not to. You sisters, you got to read spirits like that. When you meet brothers, you got to see where their state of mind is.
Mm-hmm. Their clothes always dirty, too.
Yes. Exactly. They wasn't dirty when they was talking to her, though. No. They wait later on once he signed.
You can spot this sometime, Bishop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Something they cannot hide too much. But the stingy brother, he's going to show you he's a stingy brother.
Exactly. So today we're going to deal with three major types. It's different than about 5 or 6, but we're going to deal with 3 major types of domestic violence. And again, brothers, don't leave your wife on the highway. Don't do that. Chinese people do that. We should not do that. Don't do that. That's not an Israelite thing to do. Give me Deuteronomy 22:17. I'm going to talk about the verbal and emotional type, primarily verbal, the verbal form of domestic violence.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her.
See, there's a problem right there. Some of you brothers with your love at first sight, not you, Canada, not you, not talking about you. I'm talking you other brothers. You love at first sight, brothers. You see a sister, you just love her. Then when you get her, you realize it's not what I expected. Let me just digress for a second, but whoremonger brothers know what I'm talking about. Brother been around the way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You've been around, but you see this particular sister, and you get with her because she's pretty. Then when you go in onto her, she don't know what she doing. She just laying there, and you mad. Like, put your leg over here. Let's get the hell. Do it like this. Get that for me. Do it like this. Do it like, and you mad. We had many counsel with some of you brothers. You know who you is. Bishop, she don't know what the hell she doing. You got to have to teach her, brother. You got to teach her. Should I sit down and watch porn with her? Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just teach her. Just teach her. So brothers tend to get with a sister, then they get mad when they get with them. Or you find out she don't know how to cook, she don't know how to clean, she got a nasty disposition, and you mad. So let's read that again from verse 13 again.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 13.
Listen good.
If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her.
Right, now occasion of speech, you railing on a woman. You can't stand her. Anything she do is wrong. Go ahead.
And bring up an evil name upon her.
She's a hoe. Go ahead.
And say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
Now you mad. You say, she ain't no virgin. She was a hoe. And you mad now. Go ahead.
Then shall the father of the damsel.
Now all of this that we read is verbal abuse, is what I'm showing you. Verbal abuse, an occasion of speech in terms of hatred. Go ahead.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity.
The father brings out proof that she was a virgin. Go ahead.
Unto the elders of the city in the gate.
The tokens of the virginity was the sheet, the bloody sheet. You know when a woman's hymen is broke for the first, and the blood comes, that's for the first time, when it's broken and the blood comes out, the parents generally kept that. Go ahead.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
They gave him a divine behind whooping for lying, speaking evil against the sister. Now, we don't have that. I would love for us to be able to do that today. Take that nigga in the back and let's whoop his behind. We can't do that. I'm telling y'all, some of you brothers, and I'm calling the police on you.
Yeah, that would you would never had the YouTube site. You never had, you know what I'm saying, brother would never, if they know they can get a whip down, beat down, something they would not do.
Exactly. Give me Sirach 7, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, and verse 11. So some of you, how many brothers in here, wait. As a matter of fact, how many of you in here, male and female, are married? Raise your hand. Let me see. Raise your hand if you're married. Okay. Some of you are going to relate to today's class. Some of you are going to be divinely angered. I can't stand that black buck-toothed nigga up there. I'm going to the afternoon class. I'm sick of his stuff. Hey, it is what it is. Sirach 7 and 11.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 11. Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbleth and exalteth.
Now, what made me think of that, how many of you saw, I think the name of the movie, it's a Tyler Perry movie. I think it's called Why Did I Get Married? I think. There's a scene with Jill Scott where they go away and she puts on some Victoria's Secret underwear. Y'all saw that? What did her husband do? He laughed her to scorn. Oh, my God. I felt so, I did laugh. But,
She tried.
But, let me get my words right. I don't want somebody, I'm going to get an email. Watch it. Ding, ding, ding. Hate. The way that they did it, it was humorous, but you feel for the sister. You're like, damn, that's his wife, and he's laughing at her like that. That's wrong. You shouldn't laugh at her like that.
He take her the way she was, though.
Right.
For her to dress like that, for you to feel like she was big, you take her, marry her like that.
Exactly. Give me chapter 8, verse 4. Same book.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 and verse 4. Jest not with a rude man, lest thy ancestors be disgraced.
Now you might ask, what does that got to do? I'm going to tell you about some women. They'll meet a brother. He's quick-witted. What they call it back when we used to call it the dozens. You can assault somebody real quick. You go out with the dude, and everybody around you he can insult, and she's hysterical. She's just laughing. And it tells you not to jest with a rude man unless your ancestor, that means your mama. Yo, you older men know that. Remember back in the day, you didn't want nobody to, hey, don't talk about my mama. Today, they just talk about everybody. But back in the day, there was a thing where you don't talk about, you can talk about my daddy. but you don't talk about my mama. So that's what this verse is going into. Read it again.
Jest not with a rude man, lest thy ancestors be disgraced.
Yeah, your mama's a hoe. That's all your mama jokes, all right there. The Bible's telling us what type of man not to jest with. You don't hang around people like that. But some sisters find that intriguing. They find that attractive. Not realizing that one day, the way he is, I'm going to touch on that in a moment. To other people, guess what he's going to turn around and do? Do the same thing with her. Do the same thing with her. Give me Proverbs chapter 26.
What verse, sir?
Verse 18 and 19.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 18. As a madman who casteth firebands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am not I in sport?
See that? You got some people who joke and hurt your feelings. They practically humiliate, destroy you. Then when things turn around, they'll turn around and say, but I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Y'all know, you ever see people like that? They'll really, really crush your spirit. Then women see that. Some of these married women, they know the man is verbally abusing the hell out of them. Then when she want to make a move and leave or something, he says, I was just playing, babe. You know I'm just kidding with you. I'm just playing. But certain things, you got to know your spouse, what's funny and what's not funny. Some of your spouses have senses of humor. Some of them don't. You know what you married. You know she ain't funny. She's just blah. So you got to make the jokes real minimal. You know, you're teasing. But this is going to somebody that does it for destruction. Read that again.
As a madman who casteth firebands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am not I in sport?
Go ahead, read on. I'm just playing.
Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth.
Come on.
As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is the contentious man to kindle strife.
Mm-hmm.
The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross.
Go ahead.
He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him.
Now watch this. Come on.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
What you'll find out is that when women are married to an abusive man, there'll be a point in life where the man will try to speak fair to them, speak kind to them. It says, when he speaketh fair, believe him not. There's another Tyler Perry movie. See, his movies, he always deals with family-oriented themes. Blair Underwood starred in this one. What's the name of this movie? And he would beat it. He was rich. Very good movie. And he would talk nice to her at a time, but like when in public, real nice. But when they get home, pow, right in the kisser. The dude was a demon. A good-looking demon. Go all the way, oh, Blair Underwood. Oh, I just love me some Blair. He played a demon. Read that again, that verse.
Verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart.
Y'all see that? Believe him not. There's 7 abominations in his heart. Go ahead.
Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation.
And some of you, it has come and been shown to the whole congregation. I'm going to say it again. Don't leave your wife on the highway. So, from there, give me Exodus 21. That's a stupid Chinese. Oh. So that's the verbal, emotional. I'm just touching, I'm skimming the surface. I want to talk about money for a second. There's something called financial abuse, sisters. Financial abuse. Now, some sisters, you come up and you want us to force your husband to give you money. We can't do that, sis. This ain't the Christian. This ain't the Christian church. We cannot force your man. You should have prayed and proved that dude before you got with him. Because you know what? When you're trying to get with a woman, she said, hey, give me $20 here. Give me $50 here. Give me $100 here. When you're trying to get the woman, you give her whatever she wants. Then when you get her, but then if you know if he's stingy in the beginning before they get married, you should, this dude's kind of stingy here. Maybe I shouldn't get with him because if I have financial need, he ain't going to help me out here. You got to think about things like that. Where'd I say go?
Exodus 21
Yes.
and verse 10.
10 and 11 we want. Exodus 21, verse 10 and 11.
Exodus 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money.
Now, verse 10 is a famous black Hebrew Israelite scripture. I'm saying black Hebrew Israelite for a reason. They love that. You see that? You can have another wife. But in our kingdom, when we did, the law was set up to have another wife. But it said regarding the original wife, it says her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. You had to have money. You could not be a bum in our kingdom and have multiple wives. Impossible. Never going to happen. So likewise today. You have the black Hebrew Israelite community love verse 10, but they don't want to read verse 11. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. And if he do not these three unto her.
Yes, it's the Hebrew servant. Go ahead.
And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money.
Nobody in the black Hebrew Israelite community want to read verse 11. We don't deal with verse 11. We just want verse 10. That's that lascivious nature. Give me Sirach 14 and verse 3. Sirach chapter 14 and verse 3.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 3.
Listen good.
Riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money?
What should a jealous man, a hateful man do with money? He don't do nothing with it. He keeps it for himself. He don't give his wife none. He don't give his kids none. He's a niggard. That's what he is. That's what the Bible is saying. Give me Proverbs 31. Now, sisters, if you have a brain on your shoulders, on your neck, in your head, Proverbs 31 teaches you how to be. And this is why you brothers, when y'all see a sister in Israel that you like, if she ain't going to the Titus 2 meetings, the Daughters of Sarah meeting, I'm going to tell you right now, wait, they ain't ready yet. Some of you brothers jump the gun because you want to jump the broom. You see a good-looking sister, you fall in love at first sight. Now you mad as hell. Read that. 31 verse 16.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 16. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard.
So this lets you know the sister has skills. To buy a field, she got to know something about agriculture, so she's not a dummy. She's smart. Jump down to verse 31.
Verse 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
This means, sisters, you got to have skills. You got to have talent. You got to have know-how. Give her of the fruit of her hands. She did the work. Let her make the money. Okay? And let her own works praise her. Not let my husband's work praise me. No. It said, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Everybody understand that? Some of you brothers, you like that. You like a stupid woman with no skill. I'm going to tell you why certain brothers like stupid women. So you can keep them under a rock. They can't go, you make sure she don't got no money. Brother, why don't you want her to have no money? So she don't leave me. Wow, you's a crazy brother right there. And some of you sisters, you sit around, you knew you wasn't ready. You have no skills, very little education, but you want to get married. Now you are dependent. That's why I said at the beginning, when she get punched in the eye, ask her, who pays the bills in the house? Because if it's him, if he take care of everything, chances are 9 out of 10, she going right back to him. Your men understand what I'm saying? And sisters, this is why some men don't let you work. They don't want. Now, I'm sure if you're rich or well off, sis, hon, you ain't got to work. Women would love this thing. But I'm going to tell you, brothers, what women do. You give them $50, they're going to take like $10 and put it in their bank account. That's what they do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what they do. You might, in your mind now, if you was a Hebrew strangler, the way you interpreted that just now is, she's saving money to get away from me. That's how you interpret. If you're a strangler, that's how you interpreted that. But if you're a righteous brother, let her have some daggone money so she can do what she wants.
Now let me see the tribute of God. around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.